Neon Nightcast podcast. I am your host, Michael Thrax, aka the MC Rides of podcasts. Tonight,
What does that even mean?
MC Rides, man. He's the lead singer of Death Grips.
I don't, okay, that went over my head.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm joined like always with my good friend Garrett Zagri and my brother Eric, Dr. Soybeam.
Thank you, Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
I mean, I want to
All
say
right.
it's just a
I want to
reference to
say
scratch and sniff,
Simpsons.
but
Simpsons? No. I don't know. Anyways, hi. It's episode 8. Yeah. And tonight we're going to talk about fighting games in general.
yay!
That's what I wanted. Wait a minute. Wait, where's the Eric. We're never going to have a
Don't
soundboard.
uh, don't bring up stuff that we haven't started yet. We'll have it. It'll be in good time. In good
Okay.
time.
I
Yeah,
need
so
it.
check in next year.
Yeah. I need my live studio audience. So, boys, fighting games. Fighting games are a genre of video game. Typically, it's 1v1 side scrolling kind of view. I don't know how
Uh-huh.
else to explain it.
I think that's pretty much it.
You have health bars and you perform combos, and
Punch
Special
people.
moves and
if you're watching this, you probably know what a fighting
I'm
game
gonna
is.
say chances are the majority of
Everyone
your
knows.
audience knows what a fighting
If
game
you're
is.
still in the
The object of the game is to beat your opponent,
Yeah,
I
if you're
believe.
still in the dark, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, Killer Instinct, Smash Brothers, those kinds of games. So I'll ask you guys first. What's your favorite fighting game?
Eric, do you want to go first, or shall I?
Sure, I'll go first because I can keep this pretty short. Basically, growing up, and I'm sure Mike, you're going to get into this as well. Growing up, we were really hardcore into the Mortal Kombat series. That's what basically got us into fighting games. Period was Mortal Kombat, and I'm talking about the classic Mortal Kombat's, the 2D ones, specifically the original and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So all through a kid, I really liked Mortal Kombat. When I was a teenager, I really got into Tekken because I had two close friends at the time who were both really into it, and they got me into it. And since then, I would have to say Tekken is my favorite series.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
I guess that's fair. That's fair.
So what drew you away from Mortal Kombat?
It wasn't necessarily anything that drew me away from it. Well, I will say that Mortal Kombat 4, which I never played in an arcade, I only saw it on N64. I kind of thought, just compared to everything that preceded it, it was really shitty. So that kind of got me out of Mortal Kombat. And then I had these friends, this is a couple years after that, who were really into Tekken. And I really just liked the style of Tekken. I thought the characters were very cool. I thought the story was really cool. And it was a fun game to play. So I got into Tekken from there.
All right, all right. So yeah, growing up for me, we had well the Super Nintendo first, but then the N64, and then the greatest fighting game ever to exist was Super Smash Brothers. So
Super Smash Brothers.
Mhm.
yeah, and so basically, I just grew up playing that. Like anytime there was a new Super Smash out, what there's one on 64, GameCube, Wii, and then there's like a Wii U version now. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
Yeah.
or the Switch version now. I think.
It might. I don't know if
It
it's
might
on
be
the
on.
Switch.
It might be on
I was not on
both.
Switch.
It
All
is on
right.
the Wii U for sure, and that was really the only reason to buy a Wii U, which
uh,
I didn't even do that.
So Garrett, though, I'm sure you've run into people who try and tell you that Smash Brothers isn't actually a fighting game.
All right. Well, I'll point them to the numerous tournaments that have been held for Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, I
I'll
agree.
send
I'm just
them. I'll
saying
send
that.
them some
Yeah,
clips of C9 Mango.
it's part of fucking Evo, so it's a fighting
Yeah,
game.
it's a fighting game. It is.
Yeah.
It's like it has cartoon art style, but it's still a fighting game.
Oh, I agree. I
Um,
agree with you. I'm just pointing out people will make that argument, and I do like Smash Brothers a lot too. But you do have to admit it is kind of different than any other fighting game.
It's a different style, but it launched its own genre. Like there's so many Smash clones.
yeah, I mean, so like, how would you say Smash is different than Tekken or Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat or whatever?
Well,
Like,
I would
it's
say,
not the combos, but
yeah, not that there's not as much, I guess, emphasis on combos. Although, I mean, that is still a part of it, of course. But I guess the main thing that really sets it apart is the fact that it can be a group battle of more than just two versus two,
yeah.
Well,
one
Yeah,
on
but
okay,
I
one.
mean, most tournaments go 1v1.
yeah, with Smash Brothers, you don't have a health bar that's going down. You have a health bar that's going up, or a health meter.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more. I would say it's more open. Like you have more places to go. Like it's more about the map than any other fighting game, and it has like aerial stuff where like MVC Marvel vs. Capcom has aerial combos and shit, but it's different in Smash. I think in the core it is just a fighting game, but it just has different mechanics, way
Yeah,
different
like
mechanics.
I think basically what you said about the maps. Maps I think is one of the biggest things about because every map does something different. Like the Yoshi world, and is it Yoshi? I can't remember if it's Yoshi or Kirby, but the one with the tree in the middle that
That's
blows.
Kirby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the Zelda Hyrule whatever castle,
Hyrule.
Hyrule Castle. That one is just synonymous with being like one of the biggest maps ever.
Yeah,
And everyone hates it because there's tons of places to hide.
I love that one.
Yeah, I like it too because there's tons of places to hide, not just let everyone else kill themselves. But yeah, so growing up, Smash Bros was my favorite, and I mean, I never play. I don't think I ever played any of the other ones, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, on like console. I played them at arcades. I
Hmm.
think that's why I didn't like them because it has the joystick and just the four like arcade buttons. I don't have a controller,
Yeah.
which
Right.
was really just uncomfortable.
See, I
So
would agree. I will say if you really get used to playing with a joystick, it is actually superior.
They say it's
But
better.
yeah, but if you're not used to it, definitely. Like 90% of my fighting gaming is on
But
consoles as well. So I would agree with
when
that.
when I was watching the we'll get into this, but when I was watching the Killer Instinct finals, uh, it was pretty balanced between people using like the joystick and the controller. So you know, they people say it's better to use the joystick, but who really
see,
knows?
I don't know about that.
I
I think
believe
I
I
think it's
believe
just personal preference. I don't think there's an advantage either way. I mean, someone could prove me wrong, but
Yeah.
I believe the argument is that the joystick makes directional inputs. In theory, you can do them more smoothly on a joystick. I
Yeah,
believe that's the theory.
I know I hate using actually controller because I feel like anything that has up in it, I just jump, and I'm like, well, I'm not trying to jump, I'm trying to do my ability.
Right.
But anyways, so
So you, Mike, your
yeah,
your favorite.
for me, like I've gone through three stages with fighting games. Uh, as a kid, yeah, Mortal Kombat. It was just, oh, it's so brutal, it's so intense, like fucking pulling out spines, like it's so
And we'll touch
badass.
we'll
I
touch
think
on that
that's
more
why
when
I
we
didn't
get
like
in.
Mortal Kombat. Is because it was like it's overkill.
You
Yeah.
know what? We'll touch on that more when we get into the individual games, but at the time that was unique though. It wasn't like everybody was doing that back
Oh
then.
no, I know. Mortal Kombat is great. I'm not dissing it. I'm just like that's when I was a kid. That's what I was into. And then when so Mortal Kombat produced a lot of crappy games on like the N64 and the
Yeah.
PlayStation that I couldn't get into. So I
Yeah.
started to like Street Fighter more because I was like, oh, it has like a combo system where Mortal Kombat's more about juggling and
Mhm.
I don't know, like Street Fighter 4, because like Street Fighter 3, so good. And then 4, I got really into, but then just ended up not liking it. And like, I'm going to sound like a moron, but I actually have never played it, but I just watch and read so much about it. Is the newest Killer Instinct. I'm obsessed with that game, and I really think, mechanic wise, it's the smartest fighting game.
Hmm.
Smartest.
So yeah, I don't know. It's like a kid, Mortal Kombat, teenager, Street Fighter, and now as an adult, KI.
Disappointed that neither of you have had a Super Smash Brothers phase.
Oh, I played the
I
shit
played
out
a
of the
lot of
original
Smash
Smash
Bros.
Brothers. Yeah, when it came out, I was playing Melee with friends just a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, I've always liked those games. It's just never been my main. I could nothing I could point to as being my favorite fighter.
Yeah, I when I was living with a bunch of friends in Toronto, we used to play a lot of Brawl on the Wii. But yeah, a lot of the N64, a lot of the Melee in high school. It's just, it was, I like it, but I don't know.
See, I just remember like people coming over just and all we do is play Super Smash Bros. We go
It
into our friend's house.
definitely,
All we do is
It's a
play
great
Super Smash
party.
yeah, it's
Brothers.
definitely the best, one of the best party games for sure. Like, it's better with four people, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. It's
See,
a
it can you can lose some friendships too, guys.
yeah,
Four
yeah.
people.
Dude, I had somebody. Well, this wasn't Smash Brothers. It was Mario Party. But I witnessed somebody like get a controller thrown at their head over that fucking game. So I can believe it.
Yeah,
See,
Nintendo
Mario
likes to
Party
make
is way
games that
worse.
destroy friendships. Mario Party, Mario Kart, and Mario Super Smash Brothers. Sorry.
Oh God, Mario Kart. Okay, I gotta tell this story like real quick, but I'm not even exaggerating to you. Um, these two friends of mine, mutual friends of mine, were at a house party playing Mario Kart, and the argument over Mario Kart actually reached a point where the one friend was like, "Fuck this, I'm going home," and he left and walked 2 hours home in winter with just a light
Jesus.
jacket on because he was so fucking pissed at this argument over Mario Kart.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I have any stories like that. I mean, that's pretty impressive that he's committed to his walking out that much that he's gonna
Yeah,
walk that far.
I
he actually
I
did it.
I don't think I would do that. I would just get outside and instantly be like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm staying." Well,
Shows dedication.
let's get into it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, shall we?
All right, let's talk about Super Smash Brothers.
No. Okay,
We can
fine.
start with Smash
Yeah, well, we
Brothers.
can start with Smash
All
Brothers.
right, all right. First question. First question. The original 64 version. Who is your favorite character?
Kirby.
Kirby. All right.
Samus or Ness?
All right. See, mine was Mario or Link
Ugh.
because see, I loved Mario just because like I could stay at range and shoot my little fireballs.
Yeah.
And then Link, I liked just because he had a sword and his up B was his little like spin around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was great. I mean, yeah,
Dude, I like Samus because the charge beam, and I just really like Super Metroid, and the same thing with Ness is just I love Earthbound. It's a great fucking game. But in the newer ones, I main Ness still and Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is probably the character I play the most.
dude,
He's
Diddy
just
Kong is
amazing.
fucking
Diddy Kong is
too.
god tier or some
Yeah,
shit.
I hate that too because Diddy Kong's so fucking boring to play. I feel.
It's just Diddy Kong. I know it's such a random character to be like broken.
See,
Yeah.
I feel like he's not as good in Brawl or Melee, but Kirby was amazing in the original one. First of all, the fact that he could basically fly made it really hard to actually like knock him out of there. Second of all, that fucking move where you would fly above the person and turn into a rock and drop on them, I remember
Yeah.
using that constantly,
All right.
and people
So
would get fucked with.
Well,
one of the
I don't know about the tier list of the original, but I know Kirby is like super
He's up
low tier.
there.
No,
No,
who
are you
was like
sure
the
about that?
no, I don't know about the original, but the newer ones and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
the newer ones, yeah, they're
yeah,
definitely,
he's so
yeah.
bottom tier.
In the
who would you
newer
say?
ones, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna ask, who would you say was the worst character in the old game, the 64 version?
The worst in the
Ooh.
64 version.
You know, I don't.
Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't remember. I don't think I tried every single character in that game because I was so married to Kirby. But I remember Jigglypuff, it being known that he or she was shit.
Where
Yes,
would you place Yoshi on this list?
I'd say mid
Yoshi's.
tier.
I think he's really good. I don't know. I remember
See,
thinking he's garbage.
I always thought Yoshi was garbage, but
Yeah.
Gabe, my brother, he would like just destroy people with Yoshi. Like no one could fucking
Ew.
touch his
Ew,
Yoshi.
Gabe would play Yoshi. That's so gross. I can make
Like
fun of him
seriously
about that
though, like
tomorrow.
I don't know anyone that beat him playing Yoshi. Like he was just unstoppable, and I fucking hated it because Yoshi's just like this derpy ass champion. That's I
I
don't know.
had
I remember people who knew how to play Fox actually being really dangerous.
oh, cause Fox
Yeah,
is like
Fox
top
is good right
tier.
now too, though in
He's
current
always
meta.
top tier.
Yeah.
So when we were playing Brawl, it was mostly me and my one roommate, and I had two other roommates, and the one would sometimes play or whatever, and the other one would never play. This guy would never play with us, and one time he was like, "Yeah, I'll play with you, like one match." So me, like I have hours into Brawl, and I'm always playing DK, and he picked Pikachu, which I don't know. I may be wrong, but it just felt like he was a fucking counter. All right, like DK's super slow, Pikachu's really fast, and like the guy almost beat me, and I remember like panicking so much on like the inside because I'm like, this guy never fucking plays, and like, how is he doing this? I
Maybe he
did
looked it
win.
up because he saw you playing DK all the time. He looked up who was be good
Well,
against
no, like
DK.
in public school, like he always played Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just like and see, that's the thing is I find with Smash Brothers, like a lot of the games that I play, I'm always randoming or like playing a new champion or character every game. But Smash, it's just like, no, I'm either Donkey Kong
One
or
champion.
Ness or Samus.
I haven't played the newer ones as much as I played the original, but I think I tried Kirby out at first and could tell that he was shit compared to the N64 one. So I actually for the most part I started using Peach, simply because I love hitting people with my ass.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, in the new one, I love Zero Suit Samus just because
Yeah,
of like
dude.
how fast she is.
Yeah.
She's
Who
so
doesn't
fucking
love
good.
Zero Suit Samus?
Apparently,
Yeah.
I didn't know she was that popular. I mean, I don't watch it a whole lot, and I
Eric
don't
was
play
making
it
a
with anyone, but
reference to how she's hot.
that that booty.
Yeah.
How she's fine as well. I'm not gonna let's not go down this road again like we did with Disney, but
Good old Smash.
All right, let's move on then. Let's move on to Mortal Kombat. What do
all
we think
right.
about Mortal Kombat?
Well, as we kind of touched on earlier, definitely the gore exploitation was a big part of it. But you have to realize that when this came out in the arcades, which I believe was '92 or something like that, this level of violence was unprecedented in a video game. So it was actually unique for the time. It
Yeah.
Why the
wasn't.
fuck do you have all these dates memorized? Like you in all of our fucking casts, you have like these dates memorized,
Yeah.
and I check them, and you like I would
I
say
guess
80 to 90% of the time you're usually pretty fucking close. Like, cause you're
I
right,
get
it came out in '92. It was developed in '92.
I guess I just have a really good memory for dumb shit like that. I don't know if that's a useful skill or not, but
That's useful for this.
yeah.
No, like the violence was good, and the way they hid, like in the original, like the hidden character reptile, the way they like hit it, and uh, like
Yeah, I'm glad you
sometimes he
brought
would
that up.
show himself, and people had to like because this was before the internet, so it was word of mouth. People trying to figure out how to
How to do
unlock.
fatalities, how to fight. Like
Yeah,
secrets were a big part of that game.
yeah,
And it was mostly, yeah, just word of mouth around the schoolyard because this was, before everybody had the internet at home.
yeah.
So that led to all kinds of ridiculous rumors of like fatalities that weren't
Didn't
actually
actually
real. It was
exist.
just
Yeah.
something,
I
yeah,
just
somebody made up.
Well,
I
I
just
watched.
imagine I just imagine on the nightly news. It's like, yes, new fatality has been
Yeah.
found on Mortal Kombat for
Confirmed.
Mileena.
Kano does have a fatality.
Yeah.
So I watched a video actually the other day, and the guy explained it really well, and he was like, yeah, like you're a bunch of kids huddled around, watching everyone play Mortal Kombat, the new game, and all of a sudden, like this green ninja appears out of nowhere and is like, "My name is Reptile. You must challenge me, or like find me." And like people would talk about that, right? And like that would get people talking because it would be like, "What the fuck was that? What was that?" And like people who hadn't seen that, like wouldn't believe people that had seen it. So it was really smart for the time for them to hide a character like that in the game. I think
Yeah.
that just yeah, Reptile being in that game made the hype for the game even higher than it already was.
And yes, and that was the coolest thing about more the secrets, the gore, the story of it, because it has a really dark, uh over, I don't know the word for it, I guess epic, for lack of a so overused, but for lack of a better word, dark epic storyline. Actual mechanics,
What is the
I
story?
mean, not that amazing. Well,
I don't
I
want
don't want to.
to. Yeah,
Well, it's basically like a tournament with the, like, it's going to sound really lame if I just give you the Cliff Notes version, like a tournament with the world hanging in balance, but there's a lot more to it than that. Um,
Is someone's
fuck,
dad
where was I
at the
going with this
leader
shit?
at the head of the tournament?
Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, the I was going to make the point that the actual mechanics of the game itself, nothing spectacular.
It was just
Actually, it
juggling.
was. Well, and it was almost entirely based on, like, if you watch competitive Mortal Kombat, I don't know so much about the newer ones, but the classic ones we were playing, 90% of the match you're blocking. Like,
Yeah,
blocking is constant in that game.
yeah.
I think
Um,
that's why it was so bad. I never blocked.
it's Mortal Kombat. It does okay. Like I know the newer ones does have more of a combo system, but a lot of it is just juggling. Um, it's just not my favorite of like the big three to watch. It just kind
You
of
know
does
what though?
nothing for me anymore.
You know
Uh,
what though? They were smart in the fact that, see, the thing with that MK4, they had all these new characters that were fucking stupid,
yeah,
whereas all the characters before then were cool. And now they've realized that because the second newest game, MKX, they basically brought it back to its roots, and there's
yeah.
only classic characters
Well,
in that game.
the new one has a lot of new characters that like. I just, I don't
The
know.
newest one, yes, but I'm talking about the
Yeah,
reboot
yeah, but
prior to that.
we don't.
Yeah.
No one
Or
cares about that one anymore. The newest one, it has my favorite character to see is just Alien. Who doesn't like Alien? Uh, but what two things I want to talk about in Mortal Kombat real quick is Mortal Kombat 3. I would just play Noob Saibot. Oh, we didn't go over who we main in these games, but Noob Saibot, and
In MK3, he was, yeah.
I would throw my shadow out. It would grab them, throw them, and then I'd do my teleport up, down, and then that would grab them, and then I'd throw the shadow again, and I would literally just do that over and over, and that's how I won the game. Second thing I would
Yeah.
want to talk about is the video I just watched recently, again, talked about how. So Mortal Kombat 1 the AI apparently goes off of what is shown on screen. Okay, so they'll react to what the
This is
screen
I'm
sees. But in Mortal Kombat 2, Eric, and this is why Mortal Kombat 2 was so fucking hard, was the AI reacts to your input. And there's like
hmm.
this thing where he's like, okay, I did a Liu Kang kick, and within a fraction of the second, like the AI is blocking. Like my kick has, like the kick hadn't even fully launched, and the character is blocking. And I thought that was
Yeah,
really neat.
that was one thing. The AI at the higher levels of MK2 and 3, it could essentially like anticipate your fucking moves, which is
Yeah,
bullshit when you think about it.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, if we want to talk about mains real quick, Kano, Molina, Sindel were always the main ones I would use.
So I really liked Noob Saibot. That's the only thing I can think of, like
I
Scorpion,
like I liked the ice guy and the guy with the hat that he turned into a buzzsaw.
Kung Lao, and
Sub Zero.
Sub Zero. I like
Yep.
Sub
Oh,
Zero.
and real quick, what did everybody think of the movies?
I never watched him. Like I never really have a whole lot of interest in movies that are based off of games, and especially like Mortal Kombat. Like I just asked. I didn't know there was even a story for Mortal Kombat, so I was like,
Yeah.
what are they gonna do with this?
The
I'm not interested in it.
The
So
the first
Well,
one
the first
was
one,
okay.
it's cheese, but it's entertaining. The
Yeah,
second one is like fucking. It's one of the worst movies ever made.
it's
is it
really
just like
bad.
lots of blood and gore or what?
No,
That's the
no.
Oh,
thing. That's the thing
The
that
movies are
shocked
not
people is,
gory.
yeah,
oh really? Okay.
they made them PG-13,
Yeah.
which pissed a lot of people off because I'll talk about this briefly later. But the Tekken movie, and Tekken is nowhere near a violent a game as Mortal Kombat. The Tekken movie was rated R, so the Tekken movie is as violent as you would hope the Mortal Kombat movie would be.
They could probably do a Mortal Kombat movie now and make it super gory and shit. But
Yeah,
Tekken is let's talk about Tekken, I guess. No, well, yeah, okay.
You
but
But
brought it up. Might
feels
as
like
well
a
talk
Tekken,
natural
about it.
yeah, Tekken
segue.
Tekken is a story about child abuse.
All right.
Basically, that's how it starts.
Question for Eric: when did Tekken come out? You got this one?
Oh fuck.
Oh, the
He doesn't
original
know.
Tekken.
He doesn't
Okay,
know.
no, shh, 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 shh. The original Tekken, I am going to say 95.
94, December 9th.
Ah,
Oh
Literally
wow.
22 days off. You're
I was
close.
close.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well,
But
quickly.
Tekken, I will say the original two, were not really that great. It was one of the first, I guess, 3D pseudo 3D fighters you'd call it, and it
I
really shows its
believe
age.
King of
Um,
Fighters and Soul Calibur were first.
You might be right. I'm saying it was one of the first. So the first two Tekkens, I don't really give a shit about. It got really good with Tekken 3. Then Tekken Tag was a fucking amazing. And then, Tekken 4, Tekken 5, every game since then, Tekken Tag 2, they've all been really, really good. But
Yeah.
I'm guessing you two are probably not that big fans of them, just from what I've been hearing so far.
Mm, I
Yeah, no.
like Tekken. I don't hate it. It's okay. I'm just not a big fan of the 3D stuff. I like a lot of like the character design of it.
Yeah, the characters are amazing in that game.
Like the main guy is cool.
Jin or Kazuya.
Yeah, Kazuya. I like him a lot. And King, he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Kang the lion guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's the only one I know for
So I don't
Tekken.
know. I don't know. The 3D just never. I just don't like that style. I like the 2D.
It's I don't know. It's really fun to play. The characters are all cool. The story's really good. I don't know. I just had fun. Like I'm not a serious fighting game person. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that either of you are, but like I don't care about this like, oh, this game is, considered the best by top professionals in the
Yeah,
fighting game
yeah, yeah,
field. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I just
yeah.
want to have fun with the fucking game. And I always had fun playing Tekken. So,
Well, I don't know. Like I never had a bad time playing it. It's just I don't know. Like I just said, I just like the 2D kind of style more.
also, also it had two movies. Well, actually three movies. It had two anime movies and a live action movie. And the first anime movie was really good. We rented that way back in the day, if you remember, Mike.
Yeah,
Uh,
90,
when
98.
when Blockbuster still existed. And the live action movie, people shit on it because I don't know, people shit on every movie based around a video game, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. It was a violent, fun martial arts movie, basically.
yeah.
Did it have Jackie Chan?
Oh, I wish.
See it? Okay, it was. I don't know. Like it just was. I guess it has a combo system, but it also had a lot of juggling as well.
Juggling is a big part. Probably not as much as Mortal Kombat, but juggling is definitely a big part of it.
And when
Yeah,
you say juggling, you mean like knocking a person up and then like keeping them in the air, or what?
yeah,
Exactly. Trying to land as many hits before they hit the ground and then can retaliate.
Yeah. All right.
Also, Tekken had it had a lot of like unusual characters that you really had to learn how to use in order to be good with them. Uh, Probably the best example is Tekken 3 had this character. He started as a joke character. His This character Dr. Boskanovich, who's a 90-year-old scientist with like a degenerative back disease. So anytime he takes a hit or blocks a hit, he falls to the ground. But he has a shitload of moves that he can do from a prone position, so that people who mastered how to use him became were able to become very good with him.
That's just
yeah. I
that's
will.
so weird.
I will give it to Tekken. Like it has a lot of like different-ish characters. But a game that I really liked, or I do like, or whatever, that's even more so than Tekken is the Guilty Gear series. That game, it's like almost every single character feels like it's from like their own game. Like they all have like just crazy different mechanics.
I played that game once, maybe 15 years ago, so I can't really comment on it. But I remember it being the characters being very bizarre.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to let's go to Street
Street
Fighter. Yeah, I
Fighter
want to talk about
Hadoken. This is the Hadoken guy, right?
yeah. I want to talk about the best one for last, man. KI baby. So Street Fighter,
Wow.
this is like Street Fighter was like it's the main competitor against Mortal Kombat. I think now Street Fighter is the most popular fighting game. Uh, I don't know what people like more, MK or KI, but I'm pretty sure Street Fighter is like number one. Street Fighter, I think has just gone downhill ever since four. I think three is where it was the best because it was like super fast, such a fast fighting game. Um, very different characters or whatever. But like since four and five, they've just slowed down the game so much. And like I'm not big on it, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but like from what I've seen from 5, I'm just like I don't see the point in getting into it. It just does nothing for me anymore. Like I just not into Street Fighter anymore.
I was never. I mean, I've played it a lot of times, various versions of it, and I always had fun when I played it. But it's never been something that I was that into, or a series that I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
What
Um,
what sets Street Fighter apart from like Mortal Kombat? Like Mortal Kombat's the gore.
yeah,
Street
Street
Fighter had
Fighter.
It's like the
combos.
characters. Street Fighter was the combos.
It just people
Yeah,
loved it because it had combos. See, yeah, I think one of the things that bores me of Street Fighter is it's mostly just human characters. Where Mortal Kombat, mostly humans. Tekken, it's like a huge, weird grab bag. But
Tekken has like genetically engineered kangaroos and velociraptors in it.
but
So
KI, there's like, I don't know, 5 humans, and the rest are just like
Zombies or
anything
some
from
form of dead
anything.
thing.
well, Street Fighter has Thunder Thighs Chun Li and sweet ass Cammy, so you got to give it that.
Oh
But
no,
yes, I agree with you.
there's
Uh,
like this new character in Street Fighter 5, like this Brazilian chick, and like, oh my god,
Oh
oh
my
my
god.
god,
What's her name?
God, I don't even know.
Garrett's gonna like Rule 34 it as we talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's Nikali, brand new
something like that.
ancient Aztec fighting god.
I don't think that's what it is.
Oh shit.
I
Also,
don't.
Street Fighter had a movie which was bad, but bad in a fucking hilarious way. That movie, I
No.
don't care what anybody says, that movie is entertaining as hell. And my biggest beef with it is that the fucking movie is called Street Fighter, and there's not one single instance in the movie of what you could call a street fight.
Yeah. Well, no, but okay, but like they didn't make Ryu the main character. They made Guile, and it's like Guile
Ryu, but yeah,
Ryu. Or yeah, it
Ryu,
is Ryu. Ryu
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryu too.
is Ryu
Ryu.
Breath of
Raiden.
Fire?
Raiden, there's that
I think
someone.
I
Or
think
maybe it's
he's
just,
Ryu too.
I think it's just all Ryu and I just can't talk. Ryu. I really like
Um,
Ryu as a character. I love that like he's like this wandering warrior kind of thing.
well, the anime movie made him the main character.
Yeah, but the American made the American the main character, and I don't like that.
Who's the
I
Yeah,
don't
but
like that.
it was Jean Claude
I
Van
don't
Damme. He's
like
not
it.
even American. He's Belgian.
Yeah, so he's
And
supposed to
there's
be
a part
American,
and
and you
there's
can hear his fucking accent.
and that
It's a
movie has the
mess.
greatest and he has the greatest comeback in movie history when the guy's like, "Colonel, have you lost your mind? No, you've lost your balls."
Brilliant.
That and Jerk Store from Seinfeld are like the two greatest comebacks
Jerk
ever
star.
put to film.
No, come on, it's so bad. The Jerkster are called.
Well, I'm you know not being 100%
Is
serious
it
here.
the
So
jerk store called They're Running Out of You?
yeah. So if they made a fighting game based off Seinfeld, who would you main?
I think I'd go with
George? He
George.
looks like he could like fuck someone up while not
George would
taking
be like a sneaky character. Like like the lower health he got, the more like the stronger he'd get and he'd like pull off
He'd go like Serenity now
like
and like
weird
power up and shit.
unique like tricky abilities and shit cuz he'd just get like desperate. Oh man. Well, who did you main in Street Fighter?
Me?
Anything?
Um, I usually used Cammy.
See, I used like Ryu, Ken, Akuma, or I liked Guy. Either Guy or
guy.
Cody. I think Cody. He would in Street Fighter 4. I think
Oh,
it was Cody.
Cody from Final Fight, right?
Yeah, he was like
Which
this
is
prisoner guy.
Yeah, which was inspired by the movie Streets of Fire, which is a great underrated movie that everybody should see. But anyways, continue.
Streets of Fire. Well, that's all I really have to say because I was talking more. I realized that I don't fully remember my Street Fighter days. So
I probably didn't play anyone in Street Fighter because I think I literally might have played Street Fighter once.
yeah. See, what I liked more from Capcom is Marvel versus Capcom. Uh, Marvel versus Capcom 2 was
Specifically, yeah, that one is
so
amazing.
good. Three's all right.
Two
Uh,
was like perfect though.
two
Two was
was like
perfect.
holy like Venom. I just remember Venom looked so cool. and I would always play Venom and Juggernaut. Just
But, but what about Spider-Man? What about Wolverine?
You and your Spider-Man, Garrett.
I love Spider-Man and I love Wolverine, but I had to go with Venom and Juggernaut, man.
I actually hate Spider-Man. He's a piece of shit.
Wow,
He
You
couldn't
love him.
save his Uncle Ben. Why
wow.
couldn't he save Uncle Ben?
Okay, he was.
His Uncle Ben made great rice.
You out. You're the
That's a
first
good
person to
one.
ever make that joke. All right, let's get
I'm on
into
fire tonight.
let's yeah, killing it. Let's get into the reason why we're all here for the greatest fighting game
Oh, you and your fucking.
to ever
Go
we
on.
already talked about
grace
Super Smash Bros.
to ever grace this earth.
Just hurry up and show
Killer
it.
Instinct.
AKA the
Killer
Mortal Kombat ripoff.
Killer Instinct, aka the fighting game that did it right. Oh my god. KI, the new one, the mechanics are just it's so fast paced. It's so good. It allows for better
Combo breaker.
comebacks because of combo breakers. It's it's the best fighting game. I don't know how to explain it. Like Garrett,
Well, didn't you once tell me? Didn't you once tell me that you said that you feel that they took the best parts of MK and Street Fighter and combined them essentially, mechanics
basically
wise?
like it's just like it's such a fast paced game, but as you're doing your combos and stuff, the game has like a slowdown to it, so you can input the combos better, and it gives you more of a chance to do a combo breaker to come back. But then also, if you attempt to do the combo breaker and you fuck up, then you get punished severely. Like, it's just holy shit, man. Like, I
How
spent
boring.
nights reading the Wikipedia page about KI. Like,
You spent nights? Mike, there's like 30 words on this page.
I don't think you're
Oh,
on the
sorry.
right one.
I'm on like the general.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
There's still not a lot.
Like Garrett,
Well,
you watched the finals with me.
Yeah, it's Killer Instincts. It's pretty fun to watch. Because there are like the characters are pretty unique. I think like
Yeah,
none of them have like abilities like the bone guy. What's the bone guy's name?
Spinal.
Spinal. He just fucking summons like these skulls that he just lobs at you, and like it breaks blocks right whenever he throws like a.
They drain meter.
All right, what's meter?
Well, there's shadow meter, which empowers your certain moves and shadow counters, and then there's the other meter, which I forget the name of it because I'm forgetting everything. But it just basically empowers your character. Depending on some characters have like it does different things.
Yeah, but whenever because to get the skulls, he has to like fill up his meter, right? Or his instinct bar or
He
whatever.
has to counter things.
All right, so yeah, so he has to counter things, and he just like summons these skulls. He just throws at you. He just fucking throws them at you,
Hmm.
and I don't know. Spinal's like a defensive champion. My favorite champion from KI is this badass motherfucker named Gargos. He's like, so it reminds me of Hades because he's like he summons these little minions
Yep.
that look like in Hercules. Who were the little
He
characters that
does.
followed?
Yeah, they do look like the guys from
Yeah, the
Hercules.
fat red one and the skinny blue one. Or
Yeah.
I might have that opposite, but yeah, he summons little characters like that.
Yeah.
Hercules,
Hercules,
Hercules.
Hercules. Yeah, Eric. So yeah, Gargos is not from the first game. That's Idol, but Gargos is this gargoyle-looking motherfucker, and he's a zoning character. He has like portal powers, so he'll like remember Dragon Ball Z movie 12 with Janemba?
Yeah,
It's basically he does
similar to
that.
that, eh?
Yeah. He'll just
Yeah,
like he'll be
he'll
off
open
in
a
the back
portal and
corner
throw
and he'll be
his
like
arm.
punching through these portals and it's just like hitting the character. But then, yeah, he also spawns these minions that will just go. They'll walk back and forward, and they'll attack the enemy when they're around it, and blah blah blah. And yeah, there was like a great moment. I think it was a final to some championship where some guy pulled out Gargos and he was like super low tier and everyone was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then he won and people like lost their mind.
It's like someone pulling out Jigglypuff and winning.
Yeah, or like Pichu in Melee.
I always thought the coolest character from that game series was Riptor.
Yeah, Riptor's fucking awesome. Like Riptor is so
Riptor.
good. In the
He's a
new one,
dinosaur and he wears jeans.
first of
Isn't he
all,
wearing jeans?
no, she does.
I thought he was wearing jeans.
First of all, it's a girl because it's like a reference to Jurassic Park.
Ah, clever girl.
Clever girl.
It sounds like it's just a ripoff from Rugrats and Riptar.
I
Reptar.
think
Reptar.
KI is just a bunch of references of a lot of things.
See, and that's my own, like, I'm sure it's a good game. I'm sure it's entertaining to watch and everything, but it just never, I don't know, like, yes, there are cool characters, but somehow the characters in other series and the stories of other series always appeal to me more than KI.
no,
personally.
but
It
KI
makes
is
me
just
mad.
so good. First of all, I want to say fuck Glacius because anytime
yeah, if anyone plays
anytime
Glacius-
watching professional games, Glacius just sits in the fucking corner and it makes me so mad.
I was actually gonna bring this up too, and I was gonna say if anyone plays fucking Glacius,
Fuck
just
them.
kill yourself because you're a terrible person.
See,
Because yeah, you just sit in the back, and his attacks take up the entire screen. Like
yeah,
it's so annoying to watch a Glacius play.
He's
so
what do they call that? A zoner?
Zoner, yeah.
Or, like,
Gragos
not
is
even
also a zoner.
not even a fun to watch zoner though.
Yeah, like Gragos is fun to watch.
Gargos.
Gargos, fuck man, I can't speak. So, soft spot is like Jago and Shadow Jago and Omen. They're so I love that trio. TJ Combo is oh man, TJ Combo is such a good character. He's like this boxer who originally had these implants in his arms. That the God, what is the
Ultra
company
Tech.
Ultratech put in him? And so then people started to call him like a phony and whatever because he was like the champ, and they were calling him a cheater and stuff. So then he kind of like fell from grace or whatever, and then he got them removed. And like his whole thing in the new game is that he's back, baby. Like he's gonna be champ again without like just on his own. And I
Yeah.
fucking love it. Like it's just like such a cool story for that
Well,
character.
I always thought that game, they did have a good sense of humor because if you remember in the original, if you put in the code to play as Idol, because Idol was just a boss in the first game,
Yeah.
but if you put in a code, you could play as him. And if you beat the game as Idol, he had this bizarre fucking ending where it was like it revealed that his name was Billy, and you're like, oh, I get it, Billy Idol. That's
No, it's like a
real...
woman is
What a-
like is like
thigh
a
slapper.
woman comes over and she's like, "Are you like my son or my husband?" Like Billy, and he's like, "Why would that be my name or something?" And then he just like uppercuts her or some shit.
I don't know, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe you're right, but I remember that was like the thigh slapper, like, oh, Billy Idol.
So that's another thing I wanted to bring up is Idol in the new one is such a unique and awesome character. Uh, Basically, he was like he had two heads, and he's dead, and he's been resurrected, and the new one, and only one head will be active at one time, and so one side is a physical character and a up in your face character, and the other one is like a more of a zoner mage character. So you can try to. There's an ability that he has that will like uh, basically it heighten the chance of the head switching, but the head will switch uh, randomly after a combo or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then his super is that both heads uh, become active at the same time. And what's really smart about him is like, so move set changes with both heads. So one's the same move for the mage head is like a meteor coming down, and then the physical character it's like an uppercut. So or I think so. Basically, it's like an uppercut into a meteor, and it's just like
Hmm.
that's so smart. That's so cool. That's not anything in Street Fighter, anything in Mortal Kombat. There are other games like Guilty Gear that has shit like that, but for the
Right.
main three, like KI just has the most unique characters. Like everyone is so different. Even like it's just not just human after human after human.
It's there's Rash from
Yeah,
Battletoads.
Rash from
Yeah,
Battletoads. Like how can you
that
not
is
love
cool.
that?
Well, um, real quick, I wanted to bring up we are kind of getting low on time here. We've actually this is a really good topic for us, I guess. But before we finish, I kind of had an idea for a thing we could finish up here. Um, is there any series, anything, TV series, movie probably not, but TV series, anime, anything that you think would make a good fighting game that has not been
All
made?
right. I was actually going to ask this question too.
Oh man.
And I had two thoughts in mind.
I got one in mind, but you go first.
I was thinking Final Fantasy. Like, take all the major characters, all the major bosses from Final Fantasy. I mean, they kind of did
With
with the game
Dissidia.
Final Fantasy Dissidia,
Yeah.
but it was on a handheld. So like, fuck that. But I think it'd be a pretty cool fighting game because all the characters from Final Fantasy series are pretty unique and have their own like special abilities. So
That is a
I
good
mean,
point. Yeah.
there can only be one Sid, so pick one. But yeah. Oh, and another one I had. Star Trek.
Oh,
Get like,
interesting.
get
That isn't
like,
it. That is interesting. Like all the different generations,
See,
though, you'd have to
yeah,
do.
get
see,
all the different
but
captains and everything.
the
But
person that would be the best character would be Data.
Oh, I was just gonna say Data
yeah, Data.
Solos.
Data would be
Well, I think
overpowered.
no, I think Worf actually fought Data once and like wasn't overpowered by him. I don't think too much.
All I
He actually
So
remember
fucked
from
them up, eh?
TNG though was like Worf trying to like open a door and he's like, "Arr!" And then Data's like, step
Allow me.
aside and just like one hands it.
So do
yeah,
you
I
have
don't
one,
know.
Mike?
Data would be OP, but
No, I need more time to think. This really caught me off guard.
All right. Well, think. Well, because I got one, and it's fitting because it's something we've talked about before. Buffy would make an awesome fighting game, specifically also combined with the spin-off series Angel. Because
yeah,
as we talked about when we were talking about the possibility of a Buffy MMO, there's a lot of different characters and demons and vampires and mystical humans throughout both those series that have extremely unique powers and abilities that and it really pisses me off that they never made at the height of their popularity a fucking Buffy slash Angel fighting game. So I don't know, somebody out there make that shit happen.
Hmm.
So do you have one yet?
No, I
all right,
could say like Star Wars.
They actually had for
cliche.
the original PlayStation, they had a
Yeah, and
game
it was
called
so
Masters of
shitty.
Yeah, it was really terrible. So you're saying an actual good Star Wars
Yeah,
fighting game.
why
I could
not?
see that definitely.
I guess that's all right. I'll let you buy on
But
that
I
answer.
like the idea of like Seinfeld or like just something like
Something wacky like
like
that.
like Full House versus Family Matters or some
or
shit.
or Frasier
Uh
versus Seinfeld. Like have Eddie the dog like be a character you can play.
Eddie the dog. No, see, no, it would have to be like
Or no,
Marty,
Marty. Yeah,
Marty, and
Marty has
he'd be like
Eddie.
super slow and fragile, but like
but he would
Eddie
like
would be
pump
like
throw
running
Eddie out.
around and be like most of
Yeah.
his abilities and shit.
That'd be great.
Another thing, it's kind of slightly referenced in the game Overwatch with Heroes of the Fight or whatever on the arcade machines, but like just like a Blizzard fighting game would be really cool to see.
Yeah, Blizzard side scroll. So like take the champions, all the champions from Heroes of the Storm,
Yeah, and just
put
make
it in a fighting side scrolling type of
yeah,
thing.
that'd be
That'd be
awesome.
pretty cool.
They really dropped the ball. There's a lot of different things now that we're talking about this that could have made fighters that they never bothered with.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I'm
know.
sure
I
there's
think
I'm sure there's tons more that we haven't even come to our minds.
Oh, okay, wait. I was gonna talk about this at the beginning, but I'll finish it off the episode with this. Is I was gonna be like, oh, what are we gonna make the thumbnail today? And I was gonna be like, Eric, uh, you're gonna have to bust out your Photoshop skills and like Photoshop like a picture of like Jago and Falgor fighting Sub Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, and like
Oh, what do you think I am? I don't have
or
that
no,
talent.
Sub Zero, Scorpion fighting um, Ryu and Ken. But then I was like, well, yeah, you can't do that. So like, just like I was gonna say, like make the thumbnail just like basically the words explaining that. And but I'm like, that's not funny.
like like a white background with
Yeah,
everyone's names and arrows pointing like
yeah,
towards them.
yeah, like just something lame like that. And I was like,
Uh,
that's not funny. But so like, just I don't know. We'll find pictures and
We'll
I don't
think of
know.
something.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. This
Honorable.
episode was good, but I didn't. There's not a lot of tangents. We didn't go off on a lot of stuff.
Well, let's not get too meta here. The audience doesn't have to hear our process, but I think it's because this episode generated just a lot of great discussion on the topics at hand.
Yeah,
Like we should have an honorable mention before we leave. Injustice. I thought of you. No one else did.
no one
I
else
did.
did. Well, okay. Well, I'll finish this off. I guess I'll ask the audience what of the major three or four will maybe include Smash Brothers, KI, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat. Like, what do you prefer?
Or Tekken or Smash Bros. Give them the
All
options.
right.
Of the ones we talked about, which one is your
Sure.
favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know in the
I just
comments.
yeah. Maybe we'll, like let's start trying to get our audience involved. Leave a comment.
Uh,
Okay. Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.